said you had 11 o'clock show?
Yeah.
You're fine.
Okay.
How long would... When do you want to leave?
We got a 9 o'clock show.
Yes, right. We're going to be taping some of the show, too.
Okay.
Do you have an order of the songs? Because we'd like to tape some of the songs. I'd like to...
Hold on. You're working off this mic then, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
It's about the level that I talk at in Carole.
That's fine. Yeah.
Do you need
Carole,
pen?
the heavies? That's fine.
Good.
Congratulations on winning the... Okay. Have you been here before? Been to Florida?
Oh, yeah.
Have you?
I have.
You've been in the business. You've been in the business since you're 15 years old. You started writing music?
Started writing at 15. I was the only one who considered myself in the business at 15.
Why?
Well, because I wasn't. I mean, the first song that I had published, I was in college, so I was older than 15. But I started writing songs in high school.
Did you write as far back as you can remember you wrote?
Yeah, I wrote little poems as a youngster. They weren't songs, but I studied piano, as I guess many young girls do. But I went to a high school that specialized in music, and had a girlfriend there. And after school, we'd come home and try to write songs. So that's where it started.
Did you ever envision your stardom, so to speak, or the fact that you were going to be such a success?
I thought I'd have a big ventriloquist act. That was what I actually saw for myself, kind of on the order of a Jerry Mahoney doll, you know. That Shari Lewis, I think I saw. Not a songwriter. I didn't know that right away.
Can you do that? Can you throw your voice?
I used to be able to. I can't. I haven't tried it
I
in
didn't
many
know that
years.
about you.
Well, I like to keep certain secrets, Burt.
Can you try it? Will you try it right now?
No, I'd rather practice and come back another evening. I mean, I'd hate to lose a good possible next job, you know. Besides, you have to have a little dummy here that sits and...
Tell me about your background also. You started a long time ago also in the business.
Yeah, I started in the business as a conductor and an accompanist for different acts. And as a matter of fact, played down here with different acts at times. And that was a pretty good foundation, groundwork, you know, I'd say, for where I was going to go. It's a good way to learn a certain part of the music business.
Your father is a writer.
Burt Bacharach, same name,
Right,
but it's spelled
same name as
B-E-R-T, right?
And yet you chose music. When did you realize that music was for you?
Well, I think it was, I didn't like it when I was growing up, when I was a kid, and I had to practice. And I think it was a form of contact, a social contact. If I could play the piano, I'd attract girls around, you know, which I was having a very hard time doing. You know, when I was in, high school, right. So,
They're
playing
really
in a
hard to
band.
understand that.
I was the shortest kid in high school of 3,000. It's easy to understand for me, you know, remembering. So, by playing music and in a high school band, or some kids from high school, it helped the social intercourse, you know.
Social intercourse. That's an interesting word.
Rumor has it that you two are lovebirds. Are you ready to tell the camera?
I'd say that's about, that's pretty accurate, what you say.
That's nice. Is that a natural outgrowth of working together, perhaps? You certainly have so much in common.
I would tend to think that probably no, because I was so inclined to not get involved with Carole, you know. Because
You were inclined not to?
Right, you know. And I've been a total believer of not mixing business and pleasure.
Then how did it happen?
Look at her, she's beautiful. Inside and outside, you know. Rules are made to be broken.
Your beauty comes through in, not only in your appearance, but in your music. Your words come right from the soul.
That's nice.
She's the best there is.
That's really nice. I tell you, I was never so conscious as here in Florida doing the songs, I think because it's a nightclub setting and not a concert setting, that I don't have that many up-tempo songs to perform. You know, I thought, gee, I mean, I don't recall being this unhappy. I mean, I'd like to write a few more up. I love doing Arthur's theme with Burt because, one, it's great to have a hit together of that size and succeed. It's winning just becomes all the more. I never thought winning mattered that much, but the joy of this song, I think, has so much to do with succeeding with someone that you care about and common goals and things like that. But anyway, Arthur's theme comes kind of late in the show, and in my section, I'm aware of all these very intense ballads, and keep thinking, gee, Carole, you gotta just write a few up things, even if it's just for pacing, you know.
No, I think it's fine the way it is. It's okay. I know what you're saying.
It's cathartic. Writing is cathartic, and I'm not necessarily feeling sad or when I write a song that's a ballad, but I guess it just Burt once said it kind of aptly that we kind of stockpile our emotions from childhood on, and they're called upon when you create, and sometimes you can be in a terrific mood and sit down and write like a real tearjerker song. So it's a way of releasing something.
You feel that way too?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been writing from a direct occurrence of something happening in my life. You know, like something happened that day, and then I wrote such and such a piece of music as a result of that happening. I think, as Carole said, I mean, I feel like it's a stockpile, and you know. So music is a reflection of how you've been and how you feel and how you perceive, and then how you express yourself. And it's all those things. Yeah, you can write a very sad song and be very happy.
I must ask you one funny question. If Carole were writing the lyrics to Raindrops, would they still have been those lyrics?
That's a real tough one to answer. You know?
I would venture a guess that they wouldn't. I mean, how do any two people write the same thing or think this? I imagine what would probably be interesting is if you gave this, like a melody like Raindrops, to maybe 5 or 6 really supposedly good top lyricists, or gave the same lyric, a hit lyric, like to 5 great composers, and see what would happen, because I'm sure that they could be taken any number of different ways. Mm-hmm. I think usually when something's a hit, like Raindrops, that's because it was perfect. The words really were perfectly right for that melody, and anything else I doubt would be as good.
Since you're both so deeply into the music world, looking back in history, you must be curious about some of the great composers. If you could talk to any of them, who would you like to talk to?
Well, I wish I had known Richard Rodgers more than just, you know, a passing acquaintance, a passing hello. Sardi's once and twice in an exchange of letters. I had such enormous respect for him as such a great melody writer. So I would have liked very much to have know him better. I would have liked to have known George Gershwin. I think that's phenomenal what this man did, you know. He's 37 years old when he died. And all the music that he wrote and left. And think what he would have done. Just maybe 3 more years, 4 more years.
How about you?
I never thought about that. Just in terms of, I'm not sure that I'd have any great desire to know them other than through their work. One of the really big disappointments for me as I grew in stature as a lyricist, and not always certainly, is meeting some people that I looked up to from the very beginning, and because I thought their work was so brilliant, and finding that their work and who they are had a giant schism between them, that they could have the most soulful voice and the most wonderful, heartbreaking abilities, and then be not such a nice person.
Is it unfair to ask you?
I wouldn't think of talking about who, but that doesn't always hold true. I mean, some of our best friends and my best friends are composers and artists, and they're wonderful people. But also it's worked in reverse. So I don't know that meeting them is. I think they speak through their work.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay.
Beautiful.
Showtime.
Okay.
You're going to have to get down to get that if you want, because we're going right at 9, you see, so we have to change.
Unless you get us coming off.
On the side, that might not be a bad idea.
Yeah. Yeah, standing on the side looking.
Yeah, that's pretty good. How we doing? You got it?
Dinner.
So what'd you have for dinner?
Well, I didn't have
Some
dinner.
soup, and we don't eat much before.
Eat later.
She's talking to you right now, and you're just, you know, agreeing with her or whatever.
Where was his face? Over there. Waiting for somebody to ask me that question. Just say when.
When?
Okay. You're both so involved in music and composing. If you could look back into history and meet any of the great composers, who would you like to meet? Let me do that again. Say when. You're both so involved in your music and composing. If you could look back into history and find one of the composers or musicians, who would you like to meet? That you're lovebirds.
Can we start again on that?
Okay. Rumor has it that you're lovebirds. Are you ready to tell the camera that yet? Rumor has it that you're both lovebirds. Are you ready to tell the camera that yet?
What's that?
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. and Mrs. Irving Cowan in the Diplomat Hotel, Mayor Sager.
That you'll hear while we're out here with you tonight, we'll all have one thing in common. See, Carole writing with different collaborators, or myself writing with different people,